Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today, as what just occurred and what was just announced confirms that XRP is about to explode, and I guarantee you that this year heading into 2025 will change our lives in this community. The crypto cycle is underway, and while XRP is still at these suppressed values, the sentiment is different as far as the news that is breaking, and I'm about to prove it to all of you. Here, SBI announced that they will be a validator on the XRP ledger, and off the heels of that news, like Bill Morgan stated, it can't be a coincidence that so soon after SBI became an XRPL validator, Infinite Block decides that they're going to be running an XRP ledger validator as well. Infinite Block is a Korean virtual asset service provider. And here, we're gaining more traction in the XRP community day by day. This is massively bullish. And as we continue, you guys are all going to see how Japan and Asia are at the forefront of the XRP revolution. But first, I want to point out an observation I've made. Paul Barron, in my opinion, is one of the most intelligent tech minds on the planet, quite frankly. One of the most professional tech presenters and crypto presenters in the world. And I absolutely love his setup. One day, I do hope to have a studio like his. But until then, what I want you all to observe is how recently he's been talking a lot about XRP. A lot of XRP videos, continued XRP videos, and Paul Barron's not the type to senselessly shill. He's the type to objectively cover what's most important, and I believe that Paul Barron knows a lot more than what he leads on. That's just something you all need to be aware of, because quite frankly, I think a lot of the insiders in the industry are beginning to understand the importance of Ripple and how powerful XRP is going to become. We're getting the final stages of this case sorted out, and a final decision by the judge is about to be announced at any given moment. And here, we're getting mainstream crypto actors like Mark Cuban, for example, calling out Gary Gensler and saying he should have taken the same road that Japan used to protect the crypto industry. If he had made policy similar to Japan, we wouldn't have seen FTX, Celsius, and BlockFi like debacles. And here, John Deaton lays the hammer on Gary Gensler and reminds us all of why this fight is so important. Now, I want to get to the macro and the crypto environment very quickly, because quite frankly, the more I've been in this space, the more I understand that XRP is subject to the macro crypto environment. It's not just about what XRP will do, it is in unison with the crypto market, and it does like to move last. But it tends to move the fastest and the highest once it does move. Incredible Crypto stated, not much has changed here in the crypto market at this moment in time, but a lot of alts are hitting their downside targets / bounce zones, so things are starting to line up. Won't rule out one more spike down, and then expect relief and reversal to the upside that we've been looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, I expect that upside potential to be coming very soon. I had actually anticipated more positive price action in April, but that's fine. We're in May now, and very soon I expect a relief rally for a lot of the people that are waiting for upwards price action. Stay the course, my friends. The crypto market is about to deliver. Now, as a bit of a side note, I want you all to observe something very important. GameStop and AMC have returned to the forefront of people's attention as the continued distraction is here for the retail investor to get screwed. Now, let me say this right now. I love degen culture in regards to GameStop and AMC. They quite literally stand for something that I really approve of. That's a big reason why my avatar right here on Twitter is what it is. I've had the Wall Street Bets avatar for a long time because, quite frankly, I loved witnessing what took place. And to see it coming to the forefront again is actually very hilarious. But it's also a representation of what the people's minds are on. Meme culture in crypto is prevalent. Degen stocks in the stock market is prevalent. People aren't paying attention to the true generational wealth building assets. And there will be a moment in time where logic and reason, and not stupidity, will reign supreme. It's actually gone to the point where Charles Gasparito has stated Gary Gensler is worried that the markets are broken because of crypto, or even a lack of corporate climate disclosure. And he calls out the Biden administration for their stupidity in regards to this market. I absolutely agree that this administration has been awful in regards to wealth building. But this is where we, the crypto investors, and the American people understand what's about to happen next. True crypto regulation will be coming soon. Maybe it's a result of the meme culture, and they have to stop all this nonsense. Who knows? But just understand this right now. Warnings have been given on this channel daily. Stay in your fundamentally sound cryptos and prepare for the generational wealth they will make you. And here, Paolo Adorino, the CEO of Tether, fired shots against Brad Garlinghouse, as I told all of you to watch out about Tether. We're going to see what's under the hood soon. But I'm going to read you some parts of the Tether CEO's statement. You see here, the Tether CEO stated, an uninformed CEO leading a company being investigated by the SEC, oh, shots fired, launching a competing stablecoin, is being reported for spreading fear about Tether. Then he goes on to talk about how USDC is the most used stablecoin and talk about their mission and give some talking points and other facts. I understand. I get it. But the banter back and forth was effectively just silly. Brad Garlinghouse went on to say I wasn't attacking Tether. The next words out of my mouth during the podcast were that I viewed Tether as a hugely important part of the ecosystem. And he stated my point was that the government has clearly indicated they want more control over US dollar-backed stablecoin issuers, and thus Tether as the largest player is in their line of sight. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always stated to keep your eyes out on Tether, as I've always thought they were going to get come after in some way, shape, or form. We were right about this. Brad Garlinghouse doubled down and confirmed this. And let's just see how that plays out. That has been and always will be what I'm going to continue to tell you. And here, as we continue to see all the bullish momentum happening for Ripple and XRP's direction, we have to remember that David Schwartz explained to what extent Ripple benefits from working with HSBC. Another prediction that came true. As I said years ago, HSBC is going to be instrumental in helping move the financial system from the Western controlled system to an Eastern one. I believed HSBC was going to help doing that. And also that a gold-backed system was going to help come into play. And here we understand that a lot of banks don't care about payments, and they're looking at tokenized commodities like gold, as stated by David Schwartz in this clip right here. And we know that Ripple took on the crypto custody market with the acquisition of Medico, and Medico is currently working with HSBC for tokenized gold. Keep your eyes on the prize. World domination is in Ripple's eyes, and I think they're going to achieve it. Stay the course. And now on to something very important. Here, FX Hedge showcases Dr. Peter Sainong, showing Japan yet again at the forefront, as the Central Bank of Japan cannot intervene in their own currency any longer. It does not work. They wasted $55 billion recently trying. 25 years of zero interest rates have locked the yen into a doom loop. Japan is over 250% debt to GDP and cannot raise rates, which is what will be needed to help defend the currency. Too much debt at 0% rates would implode if rates increase significantly. We're actively watching the death of the yen, and this is also the likely eventual fate of the dollar and the euro, as it's only a matter of time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why what's happening with SBI right now, running an XRPL validator, and their most recent continued coverage of Ripple and XRP news and partnerships is so important.
Japan finally did something about the collapsing yen, quote, shocking markets with a series of pointless interventions traders mocked as, quote, half-assed. So half-assed, in fact, they got Janet Yellen in a snit, who complained that she was not consulted and would appreciate very much being consulted in the future. The currency collapse clown show in all its glory coming to a country near you. First, what Japan did. They apparently carried out a pair of interventions last week, timed for local holidays to maximize pain on everybody betting against the yen, which is indeed everybody. In the first intervention, they boosted the yen from 159 per dollar all the way up to 156. It immediately fell back down to 158, so they tried again, knocking it way down to 153, after which it popped back to 156 and rising. This roller coaster apparently cost the Bank of Japan roughly $55 billion. The problem is it didn't change any of the fundamentals for the yen, which is collapsing because Japan has locked its economy into 0% interest rates while U.S. debt is paying 5%. Meaning trillions flooding out of yen assets and into dollar assets, sell enough yen, and presto, it collapses. So if it doesn't change anything, why waste $55 billion? Because they're simply trying to slow it down, to inflict enough pain on yen sellers that they reduce their bets and let the yen die slow instead of fast. Because slow makes better headlines for a Japanese public that is already thoroughly disgusted with their government, sporting roughly 26% approval ratings, yes, even lower than Brandon. The problem is markets know that Bank of Japan is merely slowing the inevitable, meaning markets will keep selling the yen. Moreover, markets also know the Bank of Japan has a finite amount of dollars. They are running out of ammunition. According to estimates by UBS, the Bank of Japan only had $150 billion in cash. That's before they wasted $55 last week. They might have another $150 billion they could convert into cash, at which point they would have to start raiding Japan's international currency reserves built up over decades. That would involve selling potentially hundreds of billions of U.S. Treasury debt. That would be interesting considering Joe Biden's deficits are currently pushing $2 trillion this year, a tsunami of debt, even as countries from China to Indonesia are pulling out of dollars, spooked by the recent bill seizing Russia's central bank assets. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. For Japan, there is no cavalry coming. Decades of zero interest rates and massive deficit spending mean the Japanese economy simply cannot survive interest rates high enough to defend the yen. They're down to throwing bits of broken furniture at the speculative barbarians at the gate. As for the rest of us, what happens in Japan won't stay in Japan, partly because it's the fourth largest economy in the world. This ain't Argentina. If Japan implodes, it takes a large slab of the world financial system with it, starting with plunging treasury prices and the opaque yen carry trade. But more because Japan is a canary in the coal mine for the rest of us, from the US and Europe to Canada and Australia. The entire West is following Japan, converting their once productive economies into subsidized casinos dominated by government spending and money printing. The imploding yen may be the first. It will not be the last. Okay? We'll be watching. See you next time.
Now, you see, that should be a firm warning to every single one of you of what we're on the verge of. A massive collapse and a systemic shift is here. Japan and their currency is failing currently, and they're preparing for the power pivot into the new digital economy as we speak. Guys, this is what I want to say as well. We see Japan pivoting to Bitcoin as their yen is slumping. And I also think they're pivoting to XRP in the background, but that's not making mainstream headlines yet. But you won't need to understand how powerful SBI and Yoshitaka Kitao is in Japan. And I think they are going to play an instrumental role in helping saving that country from an inevitable demise. A global shock is coming to a country near you. And all I ever ask every single one of you to do is to be prepared. Now, guys, to cap off this video for today, in light of all the potential scenarios that could come in the crypto space, I'll continue to hammer home that you need an offline hardware wallet for your protection. I'm not saying this because I want to just speak out of my ass here. I'm saying this because people put their cryptos on exchanges or even use a wallet like Exodus, for example, on their computer. And I've seen time and time again, exchanges go down, exchanges refuse to let go of people's crypto, exchanges fail, and Exodus specifically is a wallet I've seen countless people get their crypto drained. Your offline hardware wallets is your primary source of defense against any fuckery. And I'll continue to let all of you know that I have plenty of these. I love the Decent wallet because, quite frankly, they offer the most crypto options for storage. And they're not Ledger, as I think Ledger is going to show their true colors once crypto regulation passes, and once the Democratic Party and the anti-crypto agenda being put to the forefront by Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren really takes shape. I think if Ledger wants to survive, they're going to have to compromise their own customers, and that's just a hunch. A little birdie told me a little thing or two, and that's something I want all of you to just think about. We're going to get into a lot of those topics and more in future videos. But like I said before, I'll say again, it's just something to think about. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. If you want your offline hardware Decent wallet, that link is down in the description below. And please tune into my video tomorrow, as it's going to be a spicy one, and one you're all going to absolutely love listening to. As always, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.